How's it going today, YouTube? I come to you today with what may be a first. This, as far as I know, may be the first video review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy 5-inch figures. Yes? So I have here Lord Zed, Jason, and Tommy, as seen here and here. So these are I always screw up my words. A Toys R Us exclusive, recently released line of 5-inch figures in the regular Super Mega Force Action Hero line, but they have the budget of the Legacy line of toys. So here's the box with Lord Zed in it. This is basically the original Mighty Morphin packaging for the 8-inch figures. So the triangle box, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo. It's a bit updated with the whole color scheme and all that. But of course, you got the 5 original Rangers. Got Lord Zed here. The bottom, nothing on the top. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. On the back, the story, if you want to read it. You get the rest of the line right there. So you got Mighty Morphin Armored Red Ranger, black, blue, yellow, pink, green, as accurate as it was in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Lord Zed, and the White Ranger. And you get a little bio of Lord Zed, which is a treat. There was something about Lord Zed when I was a kid watching this that scared me half to death. Something about his design and the deep voice and the evil maniacal laughter of Lord Zed just freaked me out. Which is weird, because every year since then I've still tried to have a toy of him. I did have the Legacy 6-inch Lord Zed, which is slightly different, but I'll talk about that in a second. And I do have from the Megaforce little battle ready figure line, the Lord Zed was the only one I picked up. Who's over there? I forgot to get him out for this review. But then currently these are only out in Canada, so haha to the United States. But they might be out soon, so I'm doing this video to be out before the United States gets them, so I want to be the first. Opening it up here. This is only the second time I've actually opened this package. You see it's a just a basic triangle piece of plastic holding Lord Zed in it with his accessory. And this is the same mold, or body type mold, as the 5-inch Rangers from the regular Super Mega Force toy line, as I said before. Nothing to, well, Lord Zed's a bit taller. He's a bit better stance as well. Now, talking about Lord Zed first, what makes these different is the paint budget, I believe. There's a lot more paint and a lot more detail, which I will talk about in the comparison of the Mighty Morphin Rangers, but proportion-wise, he's alright. His head's a bit too small, and he looks a right green bag for the leader of the galaxy, or destroyer, or whatever he called himself. Dark Lord? Or was that his father? That was Rita's father. Detail-wise, it's pretty good. It's fairly accurate to what Lord Zed looked like. Except, you can't really imitate or recreate the whole pulsing muscles effect that Lord Zed had in the show. And I'm holding him by his crotch. My only question is, as you can see, the tubes representing veins are blue. Why? On the show they were all clear and had stuff going through them, such like here in this picture. As you can see, clear tubes. every single toy of Lord Zed, that action figure, has blue. I don't understand. Now, if I had the 6-inch Super Legends toy to compare to, I could show you the differences, but I don't. So I'll just go. On the original, this was a thicker piece of plastic and came out from his body, which I broke off because back when I was done with Lord Zed, I decided to kill him. Which is nice that it's now not a separate piece, so I can't really kill him. His torso looks a little bit too long, actually, now that I think about it, due to how small that chest piece is. But overall, everything's there. Articulation-wise, his head can go 360. On the back, you can see the outline of even his spine is picked out in silver. Which, turning the head kind of looks like you're snapping his spine, which isn't true to human movement, those things, where the neck moves with the spine. With this, just the spine's painted on, so it looks like you snapped his neck or his spine in half. Shoulders, universal joint. You can go 360 in and out, all the way up. He's got an elbow with 90-degree motion, and the only one so far I've seen in this line which has a wrist joint and such. His hand pops out very easily. Hips, universal joint, go in and out, forward about that much due to his crotch, which is about natural for human motion, unless you're a freak. Well, unless you've trained your muscles to move more than that, but that's a basic, just a front kick. 90-degree knee, and a swivel right below the knee, sorry. Nothing, no thigh joints, and looks like it could be missing a little paint on the knee joint. But overall, I'm very happy with Lord Zed figure. You can even check out the brain molding detail there, which is a nice touch. And his weapon, of course, is his Z staff, Zed staff, whatever it was called. You can grip it in one hand, and technically, this probably shouldn't be possible, but he can wield it like he did in the show and rain down some magic on some fools. I forgot, they even painted his fingernails. Now that's attention to detail. And the backs of his wrists. So, this is a nice soft plastic, very bendy, no sharp tips. So, Lord Zed. He has a hard time standing with his staff, but next we'll go on to Tommy, the White Ranger. As you can see, the Rangers is where most of the budget went, of course, but this is where they differ from the regular 5-inch action heroes, is they have metallic paint on their armor, and anywhere that's gold is metallic, where I'll show it off in a minute. And all the attention to detail in that helmet, like all picked out in black paint. It looks a little bit squished, in my opinion, but that's just maybe with the suit design of the tiger head, a little bit squished. Visor, nice black. The tooth for, yeah, it's one there, but it should be having a line going down the middle, because it was split teeth on the actual suit. You got everything, and none of it is, how do I say this? He doesn't have the triangle patterns of these guys, which is nice when you think of the 6-inch Super Legends toy had the removable shield and also had like the not show accurate design under the shield. Because if you don't know about the White Ranger suit by now, you're a failure as a Power Ranger fan. But he was not from Jew Ranger, so of course his suit is different. You got the nice guards here and here. Even the belt's pretty accurate. And on the back, all the design, everything's brought over. Nothing's left blank on the back. Now, some may be wondering, his shield is not removable. I'll show you here. It is a solid piece all around. Maybe you could say cut in there and cut in there and remove it if you wanted to. I don't, because I like my Morphin White Ranger to be show accurate, but hey, that's an option. Articulation is the same. He does have the added benefit of an actual neck joint. Well, I don't know if it's a neck joint, but you can move his head back and forth, unlike Lower Zed, who didn't have much of a neck. Head, of course, 360, moves a lot better just due to the proportions of this guy. Again, shoulders, universal joints. They are hindered by the chest armor, but you can still go straight forward and almost straight up. Elbow, and instead of having a wrist, because they didn't want to cut into the design, they cut it right below the elbow, which is nice. It flows well with the design. Again, hips, knees, and boot swivel. The reason you buy this guy over the upcoming 5-inch Action Heroes release is A, the amount of gold, shiny metallic gold on him, and the fact that his weapon is fully painted for once. Yes, his only accessory is Saba, his good old talking saber. Now, every other release I've seen of this, other than the 7.5-inch scale figure, has been just a solid piece of silver plastic. So it's nice that this actually got molded white plastic with silver painted over it. It is again soft, so but you can see nice molded detail of Saba's head there. It's missing a bit of paint, but it's so small it doesn't really matter. The gold with the Kiba Ranger / White Ranger logo there on the other side as well, where the peg is. Some nice gold running down to or up to the blade, and a nice silver blade. He can hold it. It looks like they molded in a trigger, or is that just an extra piece of plastic right there at the hilt? So you can wield it like so, and of course it pegs into a hole on his belt. So there's your White Ranger. Box, basically the same, but except you have a picture of the White Ranger with a bio of Tommy after he lost his powers. There you go. Oh, and I didn't mention right here, this little box says you can combine the weapons, so more pressure to buy the whole line is what I'm trying to say. And last up on the docket, the most accessorized is the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. So again, very nicely accurate. He even has the wristbands or arm bands that this guy didn't have. And here's the main difference why you pick up this guy or the Dino Thunder Green Ranger. Look at the detail beside them. This guy, shiny gold paint in very nice details. This guy just dulled over, dull gold with the diamond with dull details, bright shiny details, dull. And also this guy's weapon is just gold. So articulation's the same, detail is nice to the Tyranno Ranger. Nicely painted Gekiken. I forget the power sword. I can't remember its name in Japan. But very nice, soft plastic. And then you get, of course, the Jusoken, Dragon Dagger, accurately painted. If you watched yesterday's one, this is fairly accurate. They put on as much paint as they could. And then his third accessory is the Blade Blaster in gun mode. I thought he wasn't going to come with it, but I was happy to see he actually got a gun. So you can peg the Dragon Dagger into the other side. Oh, no, fell. And you can just have the sword. I have him posed with the Dragon Dagger because when he used the armored form, he used both weapons, so his toy gets both weapons. That's just how things work in my household. Try and get it full accurate. Articulation's all the same as the Mighty Morphin White Ranger and Lord Zed. Again, hindered. But overall, I'm very happy with this guy, and I have no plans to get the regular 5-inch Red Ranger, just because this guy's so much better. So I think that wraps up the first video of these guys. I might as well show off his box, Jason's box. And the only difference is the bio of the Red Ranger says nothing about the shield, but just talks about Jason, which is nice. And the funny thing you can do with these is they look the same on the front, but if you put them together, they actually show the full team in one flat side, and the lightning bolt goes together perfectly, and the words go together perfectly. So when I start, you can just buy it for the boxes, that's all. And this is amusing enough. And I think that about covers this. So thank you for watching me on my most consistent review schedule ever, and I will see you next time.